207.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to 207. I'm Rob Caldwell. Kathleen is going to join us live from the Comedy Connection again tonight. That's where Bob Marley is in the final stretch of his attempt to break the world record for a stand-up comedy marathon. We're going to check in with her in just a few minutes. Also ahead this evening, Dr. Dora Mills on some of the changes that took effect today under the new health care law. And is Johnny Depp really guest starring on the TV show Community this year? The show's star, Joel McHale, would like to think so. We're going to talk with him about the show's second season. That's a funny conversation. But first, it's pretty well known that people who work on the air in broadcasting move around. It's a business where there's a lot of turnover, where people are often looking to move on to a bigger market, a bigger paycheck. But that is not always the case. In fact, right here in Portland, there is a shining exception. Turn on your radio any weekday morning, spin the dial to the right side of the FM band, and it may seem as if Herb Ivey has been on WBLM forever.
Morning show at 7:49 is the Captain and Celeste. Thank you for tuning in this morning on this 2 for Tuesday.
Herb, better known on the air as the Captain, hasn't been there forever. But earlier this month, he hit a milestone, a big one.
102.9 WBLM. It's the 25th anniversary of the greatest guy in broadcasting. It is Herb Ivey's 25th anniversary. Captain Ivey, congratulations.
It's quite a run. 25 years at the same station, the last 22 of them on the morning show, the most listened to time slot of the day.
And that's what WBLM sounds like under the special watchful eye of the Captain. 25 years piloting the blimp, and we're so excited to be celebrating his anniversary today.
The enthusiasm is not an act. Most everyone agrees Herb is as nice a guy as you'll ever meet.
One of the things I love the most about him is that he's like really goofy. So it gives you the freedom to, you know, do what you want. You can say anything in front of him and he'll laugh and take it in the spirit in which it's intended.
For a guy in radio, as we know in broadcasting, there's a lot of big egos and, you know, attention seeking. He's completely the opposite.
The passion for radio came second. What came first was a love of rock and roll.
My brother and I have an older brother, and we used to keep the meticulous charts of top 40 charts, and this is late 60s, early 70s. So I still have 45s with like numbers on them. Well, I peaked at number 12, Incense and Peppermints, you know, I peaked at number 12.
So how do you get from Incense and Peppermints to a career? By the way, yes, I'm a geek and actually own this album. Well, Herb went off to the University of Virginia and found an outlet when he became a DJ at the college radio station.
He was so good, even in college. His radio show was from 12 to 3 or 12 to 4 on Friday afternoons, and you walk through campus, and people had their dorm windows open, apartment windows open, blaring WUVA and Herb Ivey's show. Let's just say that was not the standard. That did not happen during the rest of the week.
Maine Public Television and former News Center anchor Jennifer Rooks worked for Herb at the college radio station.
He interviewed me and hired me for my first job, unpaid job, but my first job in broadcast journalism. He did things back then, 2 for Tuesday, 2 songs back to back on Tuesdays from the same group. He still does that at BLM.
Tuesday. 2 for Tuesday on the blimp.
The joy for Herb is not talking on the radio or being a local celebrity. For him, it's still about the music.
I'm kind of the bartender. You know, this is the party, and I'm kind of the bartender and the guy changing the records and mixing the drinks, and that's kind of how I see myself, as opposed to, you know, I'm the attraction and we'll just happen to play some music.
I've often said he doesn't even know how good he is as a personality on the air, because that's just who he is.
Good. 8:08, we come to you live from the 3rd floor, beautiful One City Center, smack dab in the middle of Portland, Maine.
So how did he get that nickname, the Captain? Well, it came about after he'd been at BLM just a few months.
And then they called me in one day, program director Jose came in and said, you can't be Herb anymore. Herb is the geekiest. There's nobody under the age of 80 with the name Herb. You're going to have to change your name. And I said, sure. And he goes, okay, I'm going to give you a name. He goes, I'm going to call you and he's looking around his office for inspiration. You'll be and he sees a picture of a ship or something on his one. He goes, you'll be the captain.
If it all looks easy and improvised, just goofing around and playing music, that's because you don't see the hard work. Herb gets up every day at 2 a.m., spends about a half hour preparing the show, goes back to bed, and then arrives at the studio before sunrise.
I can come in and say, I got 2 hours of sleep last night. The baby was up, and I'm just toast. And he'll, oh, no problem. Tomorrow's another day. Come on, let's go. And he'll pump me full of coffee and he'll make me laugh.
There aren't many radio stations that still play vinyl, but Herb sees that his does.
We're going to kick off 2 hours of commercial-free rock and roll right off the turntable this morning. Never looking back. It's 102.9 WBLM.
It's not just vinyl he's got a history with. He instructed the jocks at the college radio station on the operation of what was then a dazzling piece of new technology.
We had a mandatory staff meeting, and Herb Ivy taught us how to use a compact disc player.
Yeah, it all comes back to the music. At the anniversary party, Herb's son called in and said this.
You're the man. I know I've always said all you do is spin Skinnerd, but keep spinning Skinnerd because we freaking love it.
Yeah.
Woo! Peace, Daddy-O.
We'll get to some Boston. We'll get to some Skinnerd. You guys love the meat metaphors. We'll keep those rolling this morning. Good morning, BLM.
You guys ain't no piece of meat. You guys are the gourmet buffet.
Wow.
Tune in tomorrow. He'll be there. After all, being a DJ on WBLM wasn't just the first job Herb Ivy had after college. It's the only job he's had.
It's only rock and roll, but we do like it. It's 102.9 WBLM. Thank you guys so very much.
It is a tribute to Herb that all those people like him so much because in many cases, he's their boss. In addition to being a DJ, he's a manager for more than one station in his radio group with responsibilities for programming, staffing, all that kind of stuff. And on the side, he's a great champion of cultivating local talent through the Portland Music Foundation. On the 207 page of our website, you'll find more information about Herb, about the Portland Music Foundation, and we have a video clip of a great story he tells about how he first got hired and he really had no idea if he had gotten the job. That's going to be posted in the 207 blog section. We cannot post the story because of the music, but there's lots of good stuff, so check out the website. When we come back, how is comedian Bob Marley holding out in his attempt to set a new Guinness World Record for the longest stand-up routine? We're going to find out when we check in with Kathleen live at the Comedy Connection in Portland next.